Hey, powerful people. And if you are like many other people, including myself, you have a hard time remembering people's names. When you get first introduced to someone, you're excited about meeting them and you want to get to know them, but you forget their name. And about halfway through a conversation, you go, "What's their name again?" But you're too afraid to ask. And now, part of this is that we are so focused on the conversation and what we're going to say that we forget to listen to what they're saying. And maybe you have some tricks and tips that you use yourself, but I want to share a few with you here today. So, first one is say the name 3 times when you're meeting the person. So, what I do, and maybe this is a little awkward for you, but I found some fun conversation starters with this, is when I'm meeting them, I will shake their hand and look into their eyes and say their name 3 times out loud. So if it was a Jessica, I'd say Jessica, Jessica, Jessica. And now it's a little weird, but I've had some fun conversations with this, and it really solidifies in my mind what their face looks like and correlate that with their name. But it also helps them know that I'm really putting in the effort to remember their name. So this is a really fun one, but if it's not in your comfort zone, you can introduce that person to 3 other people. And when we teach stuff, we actually remember a lot better than when we just hear it or see it. So when we're putting in the effort to teach other people someone else's name, it solidifies it in our brain, but it also helps them because we're then introducing them to people that they may not introduce themselves to because they're just uncomfortable or for some other reason. And another one is write their name down. So you can do this when you're in the conversation or after the conversation. And you can do this with just simple notepad, or you can put in your phone, whatever works for you. But writing their name down is an aspect of our learning styles. And when we write things down, it's proven that we remember them better. And this kind of goes back to these other 2, that when we teach something or when we correlate different learning styles at the same time, we remember things better. So and the last one here is create word association. So there's a game that I used to play in middle school and high school. You'd sit in a circle and you go around and say your name and then a word that starts with the same letter as your first name. So I would say Tanner Trucks, and then you go around the circle and everyone has to say Tanner Trucks, and it's a fun game, but you can kind of do the same thing with a one-on-one conversation, and you can correlate the things around you to their name. Maybe you're meeting them at a real estate conference, or maybe you met them at some park or something, that you can correlate those 2 things together. But it's best to have a correlating word that pertains specifically to them or their story. So with these learning styles, hopefully you're more equipped and confident to go into situations that you're meeting new people, and you don't have to sit there halfway through the conversation and think, what's their name again? But if you do, remember, it's okay to ask. I've done it plenty of times. No one really gets mad. And honestly, half the time the people are like, I forget your name too, and I was just afraid to ask. So just be more confident in these conversations now that you have some of these tips. Practice each of them, see which one works best for you and your learning style. And hopefully you can teach some other people along the way to use these tips.